like verses. I mean, there are things that I'm rapping about now I could not have possibly rapped about then because it wasn't my reality.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
True that.
and so I think that's part of what works for us is like leaning into that. I think rap coming up, rap was viewed as like a young man's game, young man's sport. It probably still is in a lot of spaces,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because we didn't have a 40-year-old rapper to look at that time. Like it was viewed as like you'd age yourself out of this. Versus at the time that I started rapping, there were rappers that was approaching that age range that was still flourishing, and I've seen rappers 10 years my senior have a second win, have a resurgence,
Absolutely.
and it's like, well, how do we can either become a relic, become a legacy artist, and just go out and play our music that we already have out there, but as creatives, in order for us to keep it going, it's not. I don't call it a reinventing ourselves. It's just presenting, the current form
I love
of
that.
it.
Yeah, I have that debate all the time because obviously from this conversation you can see like what I love. And the idea that you get to a certain age and you're supposed to get out the way, I always hated that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like,
it's not boxing. I didn't
yeah,
take a gazillion shots to my cranium, and
yeah,
and we got like a lifespan. I think even with that though, I think it all kind of boils down to you being comfortable with you.
mm-hmm,
Because I mean, you look now, you got Will Smith just dropped a album.
mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say he released
He
it.
did. Yep.
And that's a person who was a rapper well before I ever, ever heard rap music. So, I think that's like one of the key ingredients. You got to first be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, I
and,
love it.
and stay sharp. I think that's the
True that.
that's
True
the other
that.
thing. Like some of my favorite artists reached a certain point where I didn't want to hear what they had to say anymore.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to hear that music, I'm gonna go back and listen to the older stuff because I feel like they may have lost some of that fire or sharpness to it, and it's like now you're kind of playing catch up to your former self.
Mm.
That's what I mean by staying sharp. Like one, I think you gotta know when enough's enough and leave it alone if that's the case, and or just sharpening your skill set. Like, and that's a benefit of us working together is I think we keep each other on our toes,
Yeah,
creatively.
yeah, I like that,
True that.
man. All right, so y'all got the new project, man. Step Brothers for Life, May 9th is coming out.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? What should people know about that particular project, man? I know there's people that have been through 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what should they be looking forward to for 4?
Before, I think one of the greatest things you'll receive or experience is growth. I think if you've been rocking with us since 1, 2, or 3, even if you just started at 3, or if you just started right now, I think it's evident, it's there, it's present that like he said, I can't rap about the same things I rapped about when I was in my 20s, and vice versa. I couldn't have gave you the this version of me in my 20s, and our music reflects that. And I think that's part of why we have the following we have, is because even though we looked at as celebrities in some manner, our stories are still relatable because they are real stories.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I've been through, you've most likely been through yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, in music, some of the things we speak about kind of taboo. You ain't really supposed to talk about what you really deal with. It's supposed to be all entertainment. And for us, it's entertainment, but it's therapy.
Yeah.
And, I think when you listen to For Life, you'll hear the growth from 3 to 4. And you might even fall in love with us all over again to find out that, you're not alone in whatever situation you might be, dealing with currently.
For sure.
Yeah, I think even the titling is almost like a double entendre of sorts. It's For Life in the sense it's the 4th installment, but it's For Life because it's life music. We're making music that's truly like a soundtrack to our lives. And the overlap I mean, the album cover has all of our children present, like a family portrait, and it's the whole like human experience in audio form and rap form. Like we're rapping about love, we're rapping about love lost, we're rapping about grief, we're
Yeah.
rapping about like honest, like introspective things, our worldview of how like how we're viewed, you know, and the idea of my life, your entertainment, and because that's something that I think as a public figure, as an entertainer, that weighs on people. Like psychologically, you're being under a microscope, the world's a stage kind of thing, and not to mention everyone that's watching you is not necessarily cheering for you. It's
Yeah.
you know it can become a spectacle all its own. We've got records. Uh, we got a record. We're talking to our younger selves. Like I said, on
That's
the
fire.
introspective end, it's and still with all of that, we still do what we do as far as the back and forth. You know, playing off of each other lyrically, the fun, all over the place, like purest rap. You know, almost like just for the sake of a cipher.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
rap for rap's
Yeah.
sake. Like we're rappers, and a rap purist will be able to appreciate this on a bar for bar level.
Yeah.
But we have records where we're talking about things, we're exploring emotions, giving you as much of a peek in as you could get without it being like the Truman Show, where where you're seeing everything in real time. It's very much curated, but it's real.
I appreciate y'all time, man. Thank y'all brothers for sitting down with me today, and hopefully somebody watching it will be able to do a little bit more when it comes to bridging that gap of what we've been talking about throughout this whole episode. So thank you so much, man.
So,
Y'all know what it is, man. It's going down. Don, Trip, Starlito, Step Brothers for life.
Indeed,
all right?
indeed.
Make sure y'all rock with it and check it out, man. These brothers are talented. It's the Bridge, Kyle Santillian.